Alright, so hey guys, it's me Feliciel, and today we're back for a new video, and this time it's yet again a sketchbook tour. So, I'm kind of trying to switch things up, and this time I'm filming with my phone here and I have my nice camera up there, because when I was editing I was realizing that I did a lot of weird hand movements without, I don't know, it felt weird. That was my face. What can I say? I love my face. And anyways, jokes aside, this sketchbook is actually, might say is my favorite currently, even though it's not my latest one, because this is when I actually started to experiment with the presentation of things. So last time I showed you guys this guy, and now it's this one. So as you can see, I sized down once again because I figured that for presentation and everything, the smaller side was going to be better, and I was going at school every day before COVID, and so this little guy was more practical to bring around. This was actually from the brand Arteza, and it's the Watercolor Pad Expert, as you can maybe see, and it's 300 grams per meter square, and it's A5. So that's pretty much it. Oh, and it's double-sided, one is smooth and one is textured. So that was actually pretty important because I thought that the watercolors was pretty much doing better on one of the sides instead of the other. So let's get into the sketchbook tour. So as you can see, it started off by, I painted the cover black because I wanted to actually draw on it. Because this was supposed to be one of my art final assignments. Because we had to do 6 productions, and I thought that, you know what, my sketchbook is pretty good. I could just say that it's one of them. And my teacher was fine with it, and so she was like, you should do something for the cover. And so I painted it black, and in the end I did something else for my last production. I could have painted a cover, but got too lazy, and instead I just put a Nice Humans sticker, so that's Franner's shop, where I bought, I think, 2 prints and a zine, don't really know how to say it. The first page is blank, also don't mind those stickers, those were from when I wanted to label pages. And I just wrote the date in tiny, so that's from December 2019 to July 2020. So it's pretty recent. So first page always gets me nervous, so I don't do it. Then, here you might recognize it as the drawing of, well, pretty much my logo that I put everywhere. So it was just pretty much based off of a picture of me laying down and drawing that I thought was pretty cool, so I wanted to sketch it out, and then I passed it digitally. I did this with my brush pen, and it was pretty much one of the rarer drawings I actually was very proud of with a brush pen because I struggle a lot with it still today. I did do a sketch under it though, so it wasn't fully, look at my skill. But yeah, so that's very cool. Then here we got a spread of heads because that's what I love doing in watercolor. So it's like some portraits of these random people. This guy is not looking straight, and I'm sorry for him. I'm realizing that the mouths were very weird and I didn't know how to draw them at the time. So I just did those 2 very weird shapes each time, and they all look the same and they're all too big. But you know, learning is a process. Then here is probably my least favorite spread actually, because I really don't like this page. The perspective of this cup is wrong. This guy looks very stiff. And I don't know, this page feels very wrong to me. I'm not really sure why though. But on this one though, this was when I wanted to see if I could do like a more realistic but, you know, conceptual feel to things. So I did an eye, which I'm really proud of, fully in watercolor, and then those 2 eyes, and there was like fish going down. So I did have a reference picture for this one, but I kind of shifted it to go to my style and how I was using watercolor. So that's pretty cool, I find. And it looks like a nice composition, so you'll see. That's getting very important in this sketchbook. Then I also am not a fan of this one. I think that watercolors weren't the right medium for this drawing, so it was actually based off of a Polaroid of my cousin and I from, I think, Christmas or New Year's, and once again, it looks very stiff. The background is very bland. There's nothing very interesting to look at. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. And also, oh boy, my legs look huge in this. Like, where does it end? So it's pretty funny to see this, because I knew that at the time as I was doing it, I was also not happy with it, but I decided to actually push through and finish the spread rather than having an unfinished one, which I still believe was the right decision to do. Then these were two draw this in your style, I believe. This one I posted and this one I'm not sure I did. I thought it was super cute. It was this ghost wearing a jacket and there was some leaves coming out of the hoodie. And it was really, really cute. So I thought I need to draw this. And that's when I realized the watercolor were not taking great on this paper. Because as you can see, maybe there was little lines going through, which is kind of looking off. And once again, this was with my brush pen. Then here it was a mermaid where when she's under the water, you could see her skeleton, which I thought was really, really cool. And only thing that I'd say and change is that I should have actually draw out the shape of the water, because like what is going on? I don't know how to do geometry, but yeah, I really like this though. It was a really, really cool concept. Then this spread is mwah. So we got first a little tiny house that I did with my Micron pens. It's not very, very straight, but I really love it a lot. I don't know, I'm so happy with it. This was part of the first times I was actually trying to figure out how to draw environments, because I knew that it was something that I was really struggling with and I wanted to get better. Because keep in mind, this sketchbook is what got me into art school. So I really decided to practice a lot what I was lacking of, and I knew that my school currently was going to ask me some like environment studies or like some houses and stuff like that. So I was really trying to do that a lot. Then here was a facade, and I'm really happy with how I did the texture of things. So there's this little window and you can see the little shadows and it's lighter in the center, and I'm very, very happy with this once again. So yeah, I really like those two. And then here was a watercolor study of a Persian street, boulevard, whatever you call it. So then don't ask too many questions about this spread, because I'm not really sure what I can tell you. I was just sitting in the toilets and realizing we never draw people on the toilet seat, do we? So it's very random and I don't really know why I drew it, but here it is. I'm pretty proud of it, honestly. Like, it's not that bad. And yeah, same once again, brush pen, and did a little text. I realized we never depict those moments. Maybe that's for a reason, Feliciel. But then I decided to start drawing more and more things that I've seen, because before the pandemic, I used to go out very often to museums, to theaters, to a bunch of events, and I'd keep all those tickets. And that's when I decided this was a theater thing that I saw that I realized was really, really cool, and I wanted to draw a scene of it. So this was actually using gouache, which is why he is looking very butchered, and I'm pretty happy with it apart from his face. This was like a scene where there was like a doctor and he was actually making the patient talk, because she was just, it wasn't an actor that was playing the patient. So it was really, really well done and it was very good. And so I wanted to keep a memory of that. So that's a drawing that I did. And yeah, using gouache, which I never do, but I'm pretty happy with it. And for the gouache, I use the Arteza. Then here is a spread that I love. So I did this study from, I don't remember the artist, I'll put it somewhere on the screen if I can find it again. And it was like the Little Red Riding Hood, and I wanted to try using gouache because I realized that I sucked and that I needed to work on it a lot. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. So that's for this. Only thing is I'm kind of sad I didn't use tape to make it actually square. Then I did this person with my brush pen once again. I think there weren't any sketches before though, so that's really cool. And then I was very tired that day. I was at school and I was wanting to sleep so badly. So I wrote down I need to sleep, and I did this with my alcohol pen markers. And then I passed over with my Micron to make it look cool, which it did. So that's really nice. And then I did like a design for a stamp, the No Sleep Club. So that's for this side. And then here, I did a bunch of drawings of people, but that were very simplistic. So just a couple of colors with my alcohol markers and my Micron pen to make the outline. And that's how I did a bunch of those, which I really, really love. And I decided to all stick them down on this page. And here at the end I wrote faces. And then I decided to decorate around it. So that's when I decided, okay, Felicie, you need to do something funky for this sketchbook, for presentations, for adding different mediums, different papers, trying a bunch of things. So this was very, very fun to do. Then on this side was a study of birds. So I don't know what bird type that is, but all that I know is that it's pretty cool. I did this with a ballpoint pen. And then on this side is a pretty sad drawing where I wrote down all I have are negative thoughts. I wanted to do a character like in a blanket that was like all curled up in a ball. There wasn't really a reason. I didn't want her to make her look sad. I didn't want her to be sad, but she looked sad. So then I wrote that text bubble and I was like, yeah, it suits it, I guess. And it was once again to go with the composition, trying to make things look nice all together idea. So then on this spread, it's pretty much something I hate. This paper behind was something I did in class constantly, which was during my classes, I'd take my paper and color in 1 square out of 2 when I was very stressed. This actually got me in quite a lot of trouble with some teachers because they were like, oh, you're not listening and paying attention to me. But I was just stressed, and that's how I needed to, you know, have something going in my hand, because they were getting mad if I were to draw in their class, which I can understand. But I wasn't doing it as a form of not paying attention. It just, I need to do something to pay attention. I don't know. Anyways. So it was all curled up in a ball at the bottom of my bag, and I decided that I'd stick it down and draw on top of it, and I did this that I stuck down on top of it as well. I don't know, doesn't look great. And on this side I didn't do anything because, as you can see, the alcohol marker bled through. So that's this page that I really like a lot, because here we have a random character I drew with my alcohol pen markers, as you can remember here. And then I decided to make a new character that looked like a cat head in a way, but a human body. And I did it with originally just like a red pencil to sketch it out, and then decided to pass over it with a purpley gray, very muted down color for the shadows to make it pop out more. And that actually turned out very cool. And on this one, I decided to line it with my brush pen once again. I hesitated quite a lot to also ink this one, but I thought that it would be pretty cool to have like 3 different drawings that weren't really linked one to the other. So that's for this page. And then here I drew a character that's like her birthday, and she was not having fun. And so I wrote, "Get me out of this madhouse." That's wrote that when I was at school. That's how I was feeling. I was an edgy kid. And then here is something that I really like. I decided to put down this pink paper that I had laying around because I thought that would make this sketch pop out more. So on some small squared paper, I decided to draw myself with very, very long arms. Don't ask why. Like noodle arms. And then I added just a little bit of pink on my knees and under my eyes to kind of give like an echo to the pink background. So that's for this. And then here I wanted to go and explore a bit the idea of clowns and how you can design them. So here's this random lady that has like a large shirt and with her clown makeup. And that was done in watercolor, and this one was done with my Faber Castell brush pens, which I really like using for this kind of effect. So those were really cool. I like this spread as well. Then here was a study from, I'm gonna put her account somewhere because I'm not really sure exactly what the name is. So I really love her art a lot, and I really wanted to try out this character she drew like this, and I liked the gray background but the thick gray lines for the character. And then on this side we have some witches, so once again trying out watercolors, and I tried to do more like scribbly effects for like in the shadows to add more texture. So that's when I started doing that a lot. So here there's a snake going over her head, and here she has like kind of a mushroom hat. Then over here we have some frogs I did with my brush pen, and I was about to add them, like here a crown and here a top hat, but I never did in the end, which I kind of regret. You know, decided to do a frog study because I was probably bored. I'm pretty proud of them, honestly, so that's nice. And then here I wanted to try out drawing people from my school, like their outfits, with my brush pens by Faber Castell once again. So that's really cool. I really like how it looks. You can just, it's very simple. There's very little lines, but you get the idea of the form and the outfit and the colors. So that's very nice to explore. Then this was the view that I had from my backseat in math class. I was about to finish it, but then France went into lockdown, so I never went back to class, and I never saw that house again. So I wrote down, and every day at school I see this house through the window, because in math I didn't understand anything, so I would spend my time looking outside and drawing, because that's what I was doing. I'd just spend my time waiting for it to end. So this was, you can see a bit of the sketch for the rest of it, and otherwise it was done with my ballpoint pen. And then here was about to be a page full of small characters with different outfits, but I never finished it. Here we have a bunch of horses, and I really wanted to try stylizing them because I know it's a thing I don't really do for animals. Like, I don't know how to stylize them. So I wanted to try it out with horses, and I'm actually pretty happy with them. They're pretty cool. So yeah, and that's like a skull of a horse. And then here is, I saw this image on Pinterest and I really liked the idea of how it was framed. And it's just like this boy here, and there's like a bunch of wings that you can see from birds or something. So then on this side we have a Studio Ghibli fan art page. So I was watching once again Howl's Moving Castle, a movie that I absolutely love, and I decided that I tried to draw the characters without doing a sketch under it. So here we have the main character when she's old and when she's like old but young, the witch and Howl. The only one I have to say that I don't like is her. But the rest look really cool without having like a sketch under it, so I'm very proud of it. And then on this side was a sketch of like an idea that I saw on Instagram. I'll put once again the account somewhere because I don't remember. But yeah, that's not my original idea. So here was a drawing of this lady that had her foot in the water that I thought was pretty cool. And then here was a very quick study of naked men. As you can see, if I do like this, but it doesn't stick anymore. It's written naked men on top of it. Let me do like this, as you can see. And that was for trying to do figure drawing a bit more, because at that time I sucked a lot at figure drawing and I knew it, so that's for that. Then here I was trying to play with a dip pen because it was the first time I was trying to draw with it. So once again, no sketches, directly drawing with the dip pen. I really liked this one because it's simple and goofy and I don't know, very funny. And yeah, that's for the others. And then on this side was once again watercolors and my Micron pens. And I wanted to draw a character. So that's for that. Then we have once again watercolor, Micron, and shading with Micron to give a bit more of like an extra texture to it. So that's for that. I don't like her eyes at all. I don't know what happened, but it looks very weird. And I like though how I did the blouse, how it goes like very bluish tint here and more pink here. I thought that's pretty cool, and I should try doing that again. And then this, I did actually a video of it that I'll put in the card somewhere. I don't know which side it is. This was a drawing that was in one of my art books that I decided to redraw because it was very cool. And I did this doing an ink wash, so that was the first time I was trying doing that, and it turned out really cool, so that's nice. And then I'm pretty sure that for the ink here and the outline, it was done with a dip pen. So we're reaching the end, and that's when you can see I'm getting pretty lazy on everything. This was just an astronaut that I decided to draw, nothing to it. I don't even know what to tell you about it. It's just there. So then on this side, there's a map of France, and I was going to do like little doodles of each region, of like what's special about there, except I never finished. I don't even know why. I just got bored of the idea, but I should do it one day. So yeah, that's for this. And then we have a figure drawing, quick sketch because I wanted to try it out some more again. And here a brush pen drawing with once again a sketch under it. But I really wanted to accentuate the idea of black and white, so I did also the shadows with the brush pen, as you can see with the back. Her head is once again huge compared to the rest of her body, but you know, we should accept that now that it's a fact. With me at that time, I didn't know how to size heads, and I still struggle today. Then here I decided to draw this actress. I'll try to find her name again, but I cannot promise because I don't remember where I saw her. I don't remember her name or anything, but I thought she had such a cute face. So I saw a bunch of pictures on Pinterest of her and I decided to like sketch them out. I really like this one. It's very expressive and it looks like her. And then here was a drawing with a brush pen and colored pencil. I finally started dabbling into that, but I didn't do much in this sketchbook. Originally, I wasn't planning on actually adding colored pencil to this, but it looked very bland without any colors, so I just decided to go in and do that. Then here are some sketches that I never finished. This was, well, you can see that this was when COVID started because I was drawing a mask. I find it funny how before we never thought we'd be wearing a mask or anything, but anyways. Then here is a page I love a lot. So I decided to draw with some watercolors, some old people, but this time instead of actually inking them, I'd do the outlines with a colored pencil that's similar to the color of, well, the watercolor. So I find that it actually brought so much to it. There's this very soft texture that I love so much. So this was actually a character of this French comic called Lou. And I thought that she's very funny and she has like a nice face. This was some person I saw on Pinterest, same for this and this. And I wanted to see how I can draw old people and stylize them a bit to appropriate them. And then here is a drawing of a random character, and I thought that that would be cool if I were to start doing profile pictures for people. I never did in the end, but if you're interested, DM me on Instagram and I'll do it for you. Because I wanted to really start doing paid commissions at that time. And once again, a little bit of Micron pen to add texture there and there. So it's pretty cool. The rest is watercolor, as always. You're gonna get used to it, I think. Here's some random sketch, and this was supposed to be me and my boyfriend, but I went for another design that I'll put right here of what it looked like in the end. The drawing I did for 6 months, I think. And then I believe that we're very close to the end, just 2 more pages. This was a boy that was holding something, and I thought I should try to stylize it. It was actually somebody that I saw on the street, and I was like, oh, I should try to draw that. So that's what I did. And then final page was this random person sitting in a yoga pose that he didn't even bother finishing. And here was a little dragon that's all curled up on itself. And I drew that when I was in Corsica on my trip last summer with my boyfriend. And it was really, really nice. Yeah, it's watercolors, and I tried to add some texture with my colored pencils, and that's pretty much it. So, as you can probably tell, the amount of efforts I was putting in the end was way lower than in the middle, because during the first confinement in France, I got very sick, and I was to the point where I was just like forced to stay in bed for like 2 weeks. I went to the hospital. It was a whole shit show. And so I just wanted to get it over with and just finish the bloody sketchbook and move on to something else. And so since I had this like probably 3 months gap, because then I had to like work on other things where I didn't draw, I felt like my level went down so much, and it got me so mad. So that's for why it's very empty by the end. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I have two last sketchbooks to show you before my current sketchbook, and it's very exciting. And so subscribe to this channel to see more of my upcoming videos, because I'm trying to post once a week, maybe twice if I have the time. And I also post every day on Instagram, and I do streams on Twitch. So all the info is in the description bar below, so be sure to check that out. And yeah, like it if you like, subscribe, that's pretty much it. See you next time. Tschüss!